What's up guys, welcome back to another video here on Muddy Beards 4x4. Today we are installing the Barnes 4-wheel drive behind the axle shock bracket. You might be asking, why would I be installing this behind the axle shock bracket on my already completed coilover setup? That's a great question. Since I installed this, I no longer run a spare tire, which is 160 pounds, 156 pounds, and I've taken another 80 pounds off with the swing away tire carrier. So I have over 200 plus pounds less weight on the very back of my Jeep, which has raised the rear of my Jeep up so it's now kind of sitting high in the rear. So I need to lower this thing down. Probably about 1.5 inches is what I want to lower it down to, and this bracket is going to do that for me. I'm going to be utilizing some of my CAD skills here, and I'm going to be changing the angle of the bracket where it attaches to the axle housing itself in order to lower down the bracket to give me even more lowering power. It's not the right word, but whatever, that's what I said. I said it. These should be fairly easy to install, so let's do it. Now I was kind of hoping that I could leave this mount just in case things go wrong, but as you can see, it looks like that's not the case. So we will have to cut these brackets off. So I have the coilover off the Jeep and it's sitting on my little welding table here. And I have the bolt in and I have the tiniest little bit of wiggle room right here. And what I'm gonna do is tack it on like the 4 corners here, and then I'll pull it off and then fully weld it from the inside and then on the outside. And that way it's not going to suck it in, and I won't have to trim anything in order to slide it in. It should slide right in, super easy and nice. So using my cardboard that we talked about at the very beginning of the video, I made a template of the exact curve. Should be for a 3-inch tube. And in order to lower this down on the axle tube, I'm just going to take that same curve and tilt it back slightly, which is going to allow me to basically use the same amount of space, just lower it down on the axle, keeping it the same. So here's my template right here. That's what I ended up going with, is this, about this angle right here, and then we'll mark it out on all 4 sides and cut it off with the plasma cutter, and we'll be good to go. And before I'm cutting this bracket off, I marked the center here, so that way I know where the center line of this was, so I can put the center line of it back where it needs to go. I'll probably mark the center of the axle bracket over there, and then use the laser to make sure that it's perfectly centered. Yep, I don't think we can get better than that. We got the driver's side all done and put back together, so we just need to repeat the same thing on the other side. We got our mount all complete here, and moving over to the coil tower, you can see where I kind of notched this out here, ground it out to give me a little bit more clearance, because it is so tight in here that it basically, on the driver's side, it rubs on the tire, the coil spring on the outside just a little bit, which I'm okay with. It doesn't really affect anything. I haven't had any problems with it, but this side, as you can see here, is rubbing really bad right here. So I ground this out in the wrong spot. So moving this back like an inch or so is going to move where the coil location is back here. Off camera, I went ahead and used my high lift jack and jacked the body up and drooped my suspension completely out, so my coil spring is coilover is maxed out, and I know the center of the coil, so I marked it on the bottom side under here, and I know that my coilover is at about 15 degrees angle back. Only left to do, grind out that area, do the same thing on the other side, paint it up, throw it back together, and we'll be good to go.
Tire in the air, Kelly. Passenger. Start leveling out here in a minute. There you go. You got it, bud. Hell yeah.
Well guys, it has been 3 months since I actually installed these behind the axle shock brackets from Barnes 4-wheel drive, and it lowered my Jeep 1.5 inches, exactly what I wanted it to do, and it looks so much better. I've gone snow wheeling at least 3 times, I think, and King of the Hammers a while back. I did a 4-lane calculator video. I spent a bunch of time with my anti-squat and all that stuff and readjusted my bracket on the frame side of my long arm system and dropping it down. Because I now lowered the rear 1.5 inches, I can now cut that off and put it back where I had it before, and giving myself an inch, it's an inch and a quarter more ground clearance down there, keeping that same anti-squat angle that I had before. If you guys want to check out Barnes 4-wheel drive stuff, I'll leave a link in the description. We got a discount code, use the link. If you want to check me out on social media, I am at MuddyBeards4x4. We got a website, we got our own shirts, stickers, we got an Amazon store. You can buy stuff that I use on the channel. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the trail.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.